All right, so welcome back to News and Views 247, where we try to share our perspectives, reveal the truth, and educate yourself so you stay updated. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to break down a certain policy that makes no sense at all. All right, so stay tuned. In a decisive move to curb vehicle emissions, the Delhi government announced that vehicles older than prescribed age limit will no longer be allowed to be refueled at petrol stations starting from April 1. So this restriction applies to petrol vehicles older than 15 years and diesel vehicles older than 10. If you're wondering how does this make sense, it doesn't make sense at all. Don't worry about it. But hey, governance and logic don't always go hand in hand, or do they? Now, just picturize this. Okay, picturize this. You take your car to a petrol station, right, or petrol pump. You swipe your card and access denied. Your car is too old to deserve fuel. Now, what are you supposed to do next with your car? Push it to home, or maybe like convert it into a roadside cafe, or maybe like make it look like a giant flower pot. The government, they don't have all the answers. They have no answers at all, I must say that. All what they have is records. They have, I mean, every old vehicles, its owners, its current condition. Yet, instead of implementing a proper fitness test like insurance renewals, they just opt for a blanket ban. Why solve a problem when they can easily make people's life more miserable, right? You know what? Like for an average Indian, buying a car is like once in a lifetime investment. There are a lot of proud Indians who still own, 1983 Maruti 800s, 1994 Omnis, and 1995 Mercedes Benz, E-Class models. Those were the cars, that were built to last. Well, speaking of the Benz, let's talk numbers. Back in 1995, the E-Class models, they cost around 19 lakh, right? But today, a new one would probably cost around 78.5 to 92.5 lakh, right? But both these models have got catalytic converters, but unfortunately, the old one is banned. Why? Just rules, just rules, nothing else. Meanwhile, politicians can buy new vehicles at their own will. They can enjoy power, electricity, fuel, allowances, everything, and they can even make policies that trouble people like us, the very people like us who voted them into power. Fair, right? See, if the government is truly concerned about pollution and public health, why is smoking still legal, and why isn't construction dust controlled, and why aren't factories held accountable? The truth is very simple. It's not about, I mean, air quality and all that. It's just about pushing people to buy new vehicles. It's about boosting the auto industry. I mean, look at this. They already banned 10 plus year old diesel vehicles, right, in Delhi. But what happened? What happened actually? I mean, these vehicles were simply sold outside. They were sold outside with a non objection certificate. And the pollution wasn't reduced at all. That's what you have to understand. Just by pushing all the 10 plus year old diesel vehicles outside Delhi didn't reduce or didn't improve the quality of air in Delhi. And they're not talking about that. And it was just relocated. These vehicles were just relocated. It was just, and now they want to do the same thing with the petrol vehicles. See, here is something that we need to understand. A very well maintained old car with a proper catalytic converter is less polluting than a neglected new one. All right. So many old cars can be upgraded to meet the latest BS6 emission standards. But instead of offering retrofitting options, the government still chooses vehicles to starve of fuels. Why why think when you can easily ban, right? But again, see, developed countries, they don't do like this. They focus on emissions testing and roadworthiness. But in Delhi, the policy is very simple. You know what? First you ban, then think. So ban first, think later. That's their policy. So I was just thinking, like, if a car is denied fuel just because of its age, so what's next? I mean, like, will the elderly citizens, of our country, be denied health care just because they are too old to contribute to our society? I mean, if this can happen, that can also happen, right? It's laughable that the real polluters, the industrial emissions, diesel fleets, and unchecked construction, they all go unchecked. When the common people, they have to suffer, right? Delhi's pollution crisis isn't being solved, right? And I think it's just being turned into another revenue generating circus. Mark this episode. You know why? Because Delhi's air quality is not going to change in the next couple of years. I don't think that there is going to be an improvement in Delhi's air quality. I think probably it's going to get worse. And still, the government is going to sit down and think, oh my God, how did this happen? Maybe, just maybe, they might even realize that just by banning vehicles, by ignoring other problems, is not going to solve this issue. So, but by then, they might come up with some other ridiculous ban. I mean, some other ban, like, um, a breathing ban, something like a breathing ban. Like, too much of breathing causes increase in carbon dioxide levels. They can come up with something like that. Who knows, if they are thinking about things like this in the very near future, they can also come up with something like that. So yeah, so that's a problem. But anyway, Delhi's pollution crisis, it has become a comedy show, needless to say about that. And unfortunately, we as people, we are forced to become a part of that. Anyway, thanks for watching. There's more to it, and there are a lot of things to talk about this issue. And in the upcoming episodes, we'll be talking about it, right? So thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Thank you.